Today's topic, which is Ludwigia. We're going to be talking about technically four different types of Ludwigia, three of which I have to show you today. And they are all really easy, beginner-friendly plants. Most of the plants we sell are, so that's why most of these are relatively easy to grow. What's going on, guys? Joseph from h2oplants.com, and if you want to get any of these plants that you see in any of these videos, head on over to our website to check it out. But let's get into the Ludwigia. So in today's video, I have three different types, and they're all going to look kind of similar. They are all very much kind of similar plants. But I have regular Ludwigia Repens here. Very easy to grow, beginner-friendly plant. I actually think most people kind of start off with that plant. Then we have a little bit more of a different type of Ludwigia, but this is Ludwigia Ovalis, and you can see here that the colors of the leaves are much different. So these have a orangey tinge, and these are just a lime green color. So after that, then we have one of my favorites to recommend to people, especially those that want red, and that's Ludwigia SP Red Mini, also known as Super Red sometimes. There's a couple different variations of it, some smaller, some larger, but this is SP Red Mini. That's what we get it in as, and that is kind of the scientific name. So let's go into Ludwigia. So Ludwigia is a super fast growing plant. If there was one plant that grows the fastest out of all the stem plants, I would definitely say it's Ludwigia. This thing will take over rather quickly. So it'll quickly get to the top of your aquarium and then want to grow out from there. So it's a great plant if you're looking to grow stuff up out of your tank. Ludwigia is the one to do it. It doesn't need high humidity to do so. So that's the one good thing about it, is when it breaches the tank, it's not going to like dry out usually, assuming that there is a decent amount of humidity, but it doesn't need like absurdly high. So Ludwigia Repens is a very similar stem plant to ones that we've gone over in the past, like Hygrophilias. So it is a node type stem plant. So you see here, let me just separate a stem. Boom. Okay. So you can see here's the stem, and there are leaves here and then leaves here. Those are each called nodes. That's where, as you can see, roots are actually coming out of this one. Right down here, roots. And new stems are coming out right from that one. You can see that there. So if you were to want to propagate these, and they're rather easy to propagate, all you gotta do is you trim it in between the two nodes, boom, and then you plant this one down in the substrate, and you leave this one there. This one will send out two new stems like it's already doing right there. They're just really tiny, hard to see. And then two new stems will pop out of there, and then this top part will continue to grow as a new plant. Now, Ludwigia Repens, like I said, is a very easy to grow stem plant. It does stay mostly green, but can get a little reddish tint to it sometimes. It depends on the particular plant. Even though it's a Ludwigia Repens, sometimes they'll get reddish tint, but for the most part, they're going to stay green on you. So now let's look at Ludwigia Ovalis. This is actually my personal favorite between Ludwigia Repens and Ludwigia Ovalis. Ovalis has much different leaves to it, and it has more of a windy kind of all over the place. So it gets really messy sometimes if you don't trim it often. But let's see, this is going to be a little tricky, but let's see if I can get it. You can see the leaves here, there you go, are not green. They're more of like almost like an olivey, dark green, brownish color. But what's different about Ovalis, and let's see if I can get a close-up. You know what, I'm just going to pluck a leaf off of this plant to show you the difference in the leaves. But you can see there that there's veins. You could see like a veiny like kind of leaf pattern. Focus there. Boom, there you go. You see the veins? So that's different from regular Ludwigia because you can't really tell on Ludwigia. It doesn't really stand out that much. Here's a leaf from Ludwigia. And yeah, you really can't tell. There is a vein there, like you can see, but when you compare the two side by side, Ovalis are much more pronounced, and you can tell the leaf shape and why it's called Ovalis, because if you look at the two, you can see that Ovalis is more oval, hence the name. It's more of a oval, where Ludwigia Repens is more elongated. So this one is much more smaller and compact compared to the Repens, and that's really the key difference between the two other than the colors. So Ovalis is a great plant if you're looking for something that may be like an orangey red, a brown, an olive color, because it gets all three depending on the light. And it's not that kind of light green that Repens gets. So if you're looking for a plant with color, definitely get Ovalis. And as you can see here, it's very branchy. Look at the bottom branches here. This is all just like from one or two stems down here. but you have all these side shoots. So this one definitely likes to be trimmed. It will set off a ton of side shoots and you'll fill in an area very quick. So now one of my personal favorite red plants to recommend to people is this guy right here. This is Ludwigia SP Red. Now, you can see here the bright red tops. They're like almost a dark red, burgundy type color. They're super bright underwater. Sometimes they even get like a purpley color. And they also do have reddish stems. So they're just red and red through and through. When you have them submerged. Above the water, they're green with a darker stem, but underwater, they're bright red. And the good thing about these guys is this is their natural color underwater. You don't need super high light, you don't need CO2, you don't need anything else to make these guys red. They're just going to naturally be red. Now, if you have a super good light and you have super good CO2 and you have lots and lots of fertilization, they're going to be even brighter red. But under just even low... Oh, there's the baby. Where was I before I was interrupted? I forget. But it's a really easy to grow red plant. You don't need anything special to grow it. It will be red. It's just a matter of which shade of red. With less light, it'll probably be more of a darker brown color than a bright red. But under really good light, it will be a bright red. So if you're looking for something with color, SP Red, which is this one, or Ovalis, which is this one. One thing to note, if you do get them potted or bunched, there are several stems in here. Definitely take them out of the pot and separate the stems. This will ensure that they are good to, continue growing, because while they're kept in that tight spot, they may melt eventually, so just definitely spread them out. So now temperatures really don't matter with these plants. They do prefer warmer temperatures, but anywhere between 65 and 80 degrees would be fine. You might even be able to push it to 82, 84 with these. The Ludwigias are not really picky when it comes to any kind of water parameter, so really any kind of pH between 6 and 8 is going to be fine. Anything having to do with GH, KH doesn't matter to them all that much as long as it's not one extreme or the other. And that's really it, guys. Ludwigia is super easy, super beginner-friendly plant. If you don't know which plants to pick up, Anubis, Java Fern, Ludwigia. That's kind of what I recommend to everybody. They are super hardy plants. You could even leave them floating. They don't even need to be planted, but if you plant them, they're going to grow much better. So that's really it on them. Leave me a comment down below if you have Ludwigias, if you have any sort of Ludwigias, and what's your favorite type if you do have some. Also, if you enjoyed the video or it helped you in any way, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe here if you want more planted aquarium content or planted... And if you're new here, consider hitting the subscribe button, the little round button, or the other button down below to subscribe and get more planted aquarium content or more plant content in general. If you want to check out a video that we did on Sagittaria, a super beginner-friendly species of plants like Ludwigia, you can click over there. And if you want to see a paludarium tank setup that we did that's really cool, you can click over there that I used actually some of this stuff in. And I will see you guys next time.